All right, so welcome to our Student Support Services Resource Week 2021. Today is day one. We will be focusing on employment resources. So we have some really great organizations who are here to give you guys information on how they can help you find employment. Our first organization is the South Bay Workforce Investment Board, otherwise known as the SWIB. They also have American Job Centers, and here in the local area, we call these American Job Centers the one-stops. We also have the Employment Development Department. We have the Department of Rehabilitation, the International Education Research Foundation, Torrance Libraries, and then at the end, Torrance Adult School will be talking a little bit about their resources as well. So to get started, we are going to have the South Bay Workforce Investment Board. We have Bridget Cruz. Bridget, whenever you're ready.
Hi, good afternoon, everybody. As Liliana mentioned, I work with the South Bay Workforce Investment Board. We're located in Torrance, and we're a nonprofit organization. We partner with EDD. I just want to make sure.
You can hear me,
right?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, sorry about that.
So we're
co-located in the same building as EDD, and we have a lot of different workforce grants.
Bridget, give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. We're just getting your computer and we're getting your phone. Give me 1 second.
Sorry about that.
Okay, you're good.
Okay. So as I mentioned, we are located in Torrance, and we have a lot of different workforce grants. All of our services are free. They're based on eligibility. So we have programs for adults, which is 18 and over, and then we have programs for youth, which is our young adults, and that's for the ages of 14 to 24. So some of the programs that we do are employment. For our youth program, we do have some funding for work experience, and then we also have some funding for vocational training, which is short-term training. Next, please. Okay. So some of the services that we offer are career counseling, which we do. Our building is now open to the public, so we do meet with people on a one-to-one basis by appointment only. And then if you're uncomfortable with that, we can also do a Zoom. We provide assistance with resumes and interviewing. And we will be doing workshops. Hopefully we just started doing them again once a month via Zoom, but we will be doing them in person again. So if you need assistance with a resume, if you've never had one before, you just need to update it, that's something that I can help you with. And then for interviewing, I always say you need to be prepared to do the best as far as the interview. So we do a lot of mock interviews here on the site. We also assist with job search. We do have a job developer who will work with you on a one-to-one basis. She only works with people that are enrolled in our workforce programs. And I always tell people we're not a temp agency, we're a resource. So we provide you with job leads. At least every week we try to, and then we try to cater the jobs to what you're looking for, obviously. In regards to vocational training, as I mentioned before, it is short-term training. So that would be something less than a year. And then we do have a cap for training. Right now, since we're we're in November now, we do have a limited budget for training. So if that's something that you are interested in, please call, and then we can let you know if we do have money or not. It's based on city. For paid work experience, so as I mentioned, this is for the youth program. What happens is that if you are a youth between the ages of 14 and 24, if you're eligible, we do provide you, or we place you at one of our work sites and you get paid. So it's $15 an hour. The hours do depend on what grant you are enrolled in. So it's a great opportunity if you've never worked before. I always encourage people to get their kids involved just because I wish I would have had that when I was that age. The last thing is access to job fairs and recruitment opportunities. So obviously during the pandemic, we were closed. So we were doing some employment recruitments via Zoom. As of a few weeks ago, we started doing recruitment on site. A recruitment is when an employer comes to our offices and they'll talk about the positions that they have open. And a lot of times they will interview on the spot. And sometimes you'll know whether or not that day, whether or not you got the job. So I always encourage people to come in, even if it's something that you're not sure if you want to do, just again, because you never know where it will lead and it will give you practice for interviewing. Most of our recruitments, we do have a Facebook page. We list also some of our recruitments on LinkedIn. And then if you go to our website, they just started up a recruitment page where it lists the recruitments not only at our Torrance location, but we do have other centers, one in Gardena, Inglewood, Carson. So if you are interested, you can go to a recruitment at any of our centers. Next, please. Okay, so this is just basic eligibility. If we were to put eligibility for all of our grants, it's a little bit too overwhelming. So the basic is that you need to be either unemployed or underemployed. We do look at income. So we look at your last 6 months of employment and we look at family size. So the income is going to be less, obviously, if you're a family of one versus a family of four. But that's something that we will pre-screen. If you call us, we can let you know if you're eligible. We will be making copies of your income and also your right to work documents. So that would be your California ID, your driver's license, and your Social Security card. We cannot take passports, unfortunately. We actually do need to make a copy of your Social Security card. And then, or if you have a residency card, we would make a copy of that as well. And I just wanted to go back to income. If you haven't worked in the last 6 months, that's fine. What we would have you do is just an applicant statement, just showing that how you've been living. So if you've been living off assistance from friends or family members, or savings, that would be documentation for that. And then for males born after December 31st, 1959, you do have to register for selective service because our grants are federally funded. We do need to fulfill that requirement. If you weren't in this country or came in this country after that, or if there was some reason you didn't register, you would just need to talk with us and we can get a waiver. There's just a few more steps that are involved, but please don't let that be a barrier for you. Next, please. Next. So I just gave you a snapshot of our program. But what I always tell people, if you are looking to get into working or going back to work, or if you want training, just call and we'll let you know. We'll pre-screen you, as I mentioned over the phone, let you know if you are eligible for our program. There is an enrollment packet that you would need to complete. It's not that bad, but there is some paperwork. And then, as I mentioned before, we would need to make copies of your income and I-9 requirements. But again, we go by it step by step, so please don't let any of that intimidate you. We will help you. If you want to reach out, feel free to contact myself, Bridget. My information is listed. You can call me, you can email me, whatever is easiest for you. And then the youth case manager, Anita Clifton, her phone number and her email is on here as well. So again, feel free, reach out, let us see how we can help you. Any questions, any resources, would be happy to assist you. Thank you for your time today. Thanks, Liliana.
No, thank you, Bridget. I just want to ask anyone if they have any questions for the One Stop. I do have a question for you. In terms of locations, you guys are located in Torrance. Can you kind of so can you let us know like what areas you guys serve, and then what the other One Stops serve as well, so that the students or participants know where they should go?
Sure, absolutely. So for the Torrance location, we service people that live in Torrance, Lomita, Redondo Beach, Hermosa Beach, and Manhattan Beach. If you live in Gardena, then you would go to our Gardena location. Sorry, I'm referring to my sheet. If you are a resident of Inglewood, Hawthorne, El Segundo, or Lawndale, you would go to our Inglewood location. And then lastly, if you are a resident of Carson, you would go to the Carson location.
Okay, awesome. Thank you. Does anyone have
Sure.
any questions? I see a hand. Charlene, feel free to type or you can unmute yourself.
How about San Pedro?
So for San Pedro, you would either reach out to the San Pedro Workforce Center or Pacific Gateway. They're under the same umbrella, just obviously one is in San Pedro and one is right next to the Long Beach Airport.
Hello, I have question.
Yes, Sally?
Yes?
Yes, just I'd like to know what's the address because I'm living in Hawthorne and I'd like to go. You said right now Gardena, but I don't have what is the address to go there or in person or I don't know exactly how.
You're a Carson resident?
No, I am in Hawthorne resident.
Okay, so Hawthorne, you would go to our Inglewood one stop.
Inglewood one stop. Okay.
Uh-huh.
If I'd like to work in Torrance because my kids working they are in school in Torrance.
Mm-hmm.
Is that okay to go to Torrance or no?
No, unfortunately, you would still need to go to Inglewood, but they could find you work in the Torrance area.
Oh, okay. You said I'm gonna what is the address?
I can put it in the chat for you.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, we have another question and I think it's from
Sure.
Mary. You can unmute yourself unless you want me to ask for you. Feel free to mute yourself. Mary? Well,
Yes, I'm sorry. I was trying. Okay, good morning, Liliana and Sally. So I have a question, Sally. If I live in the West LA area, would I attend the Inglewood, or is there another center closer to covering like West LA, Culver City?
Yeah, you would go to JVS in Culver City. They're located off of Jefferson.
Okay, and then perfect. So once let's just say that we start the process, but classes don't start till March. Would that still be okay covered through the vocational training?
You know, it's honestly going to depend on the funding. Like for us, if somebody, the farthest I would probably go out would be January, February. But if the class starts in March, I would call or get in as quickly as possible. Because usually by the end of December, most of our training funds are gone.
Oh, really? Okay.
I shouldn't say gone, but they've been exhausted for the year.
Yeah.
So our fiscal year is from July through June.
July through June. Okay, because I was just
Correct.
wondering, because like I said, the next semester doesn't start till March. So even let's just say I start the process and I am eligible. It's okay. It'll still cover the March, or no? I would have to start school in January or December.
No, you would just need to go in, like I said, quickly and see if you do get approved, because since you would be going to JVS, that's under a different workforce investment board than we are. So I'm not sure what their policy is.
Okay, got it. Okay,
Yes.
thank you so much, Sally.
So Mary, just a quick thing, we have worked with JVS. So essentially the Torrance One Stop and JVS, they do very similar work. It's just they all work differently depending on their location. Obviously, the South Bay workforce, it works with the South Bay residents. And then since you're a little bit up north, it's JVS. But just if I recommend that you do go and call them as soon as possible and start speaking to them. And then have them reach out to me. So I don't know if I mentioned my name earlier, but my name is Liliana. I'll include my email in the chat, have them reach out to me and I'll give them the information. I'm assuming it's for medical billing and coding.
Yes.
Yeah, so I will send them that information, okay?
Yes, I'm actually starting that process. So I just wanted to make sure that I had the correct location. But thank you, Liliana. I appreciate it. Thank you, Sally, for your time.
Thank you. Yes, Bridget. Thank you. Thank you, Bridget. And
Okay.
Amy,
No, it's okay. It's totally fine.
any more questions? Any more questions? We have a few more minutes for questions if you guys have any questions. No. So Bridget, I know there's some future job fairs. Is there any job fairs that you can kind of speak about right now with our participants?
You know, honestly, there's a lot going on. What I can do is I can email you them. Do you have them? If not, I can email them and maybe you can send all that information out.
Yeah, I can definitely.
Would that work?
Yes, that will work. I just wanted to kind of repeat a little bit what Bridget has said earlier about job fairs. So there's a lot of job fairs that they share almost on a weekly basis. There's like job leads all the time. There's a lot of employment opportunities. I highly, highly recommend that you guys do follow the One Stop or the South Bay Workforce Investment Board through Facebook. They have a lot of opportunities to help you guys get back to work. But we do have 2 more minutes unless you guys have any more questions. Anyone has any more questions? No, I don't see any questions.
Liliana, this is
Yes.
Veronica, the counselor. I just have a question for the youth program. You say it's, did you say 16 to 24? Bridget?
Sorry, I can't really hear you.
For the youth program, is it 16 to 24?
It's actually 14 to 24, but it depends on the grant.
Okay. And is there a cutoff in terms of, like, if they apply now, but they're going to be 24 a week from now, it's still okay? It's within their birthday, right?
It is. Correct.
Okay, thank you.
You're
And
welcome.
For the youth program real quick, do you guys still help students pay for their high school equivalency, like the GED and HiSET?
You know, that would be a question for my coworker, Anita.
Okay. Okay, we can definitely look into that, but that may be something that they offer for our students that are looking to complete their education. All right, well, thank you, Bridget.
Sure, thank you.
So her information, I will post it on the chat in case anyone wants to contact her another time. But next we have EDD. So Andrew. Andrew, whenever you're ready. Just give us 1 second. So EDD, as you guys know, is the Employment Development Department. They work along with the AGCC, which is American Job Center. In other words, our local one stop. So Andrew, are you ready?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, yes. All right, well, yeah, my name is Andy Bruce, and I work with the Employment Development Department WorkSource Service Division. I work at the Torrance One Stop, or AJCC as it is often called, the same place as Bridget. And we have a variety of resources. You can go to the next slide. And that's mainly what I want to share with you. You know, I want to provide some information on the services and programs provided by the EDD WorkSource division and the AJCC, discuss some employment and training assistance programs, which you pretty much already heard from Bridget as far as a couple of them go, and connect to other federal, state, and local resources. So next, please. Okay, so yeah, this place has been called many things. We call it the Torrance WorkSource Center, the One Stop, but recently it's been deemed the America's Job Center of California. And there's these places all over the state of California. We've got local ones, you know, as Bridget said, in Inglewood, San Pedro, Carson, Gardena, and such. And, you know, they all provide a variety of resources. Not all of them provide the same things. It all kind of depends on who's in the office and how big the office is. But we have now reopened our office. It's been closed for a while to customers. So people can actually come in and just use the center It's the kind of thing where if you want to come in and use the computer lab, we've got a computer lab with printer. We've got a fax machine. There's some telephones that you can use to try to contact to unemployment insurance, as well as just talk to somebody at the front desk from the EDD staff who can try to assist you in any way that we can regarding some of the programs, the services available, or maybe even just some general information about your unemployment. Services that are provided through appointments are the WIOA program, and that's the program that Bridget was talking about, and also the Trade Adjustment Assistance Program. I'm actually a case manager for that program, and that program is only available to those people whose companies have left the country, and that's why they're laid off. And so if you're interested in those, you can contact our office and schedule an appointment, or you can just come on in and talk to somebody and also schedule appointments for those types of services too. Next, please. There they are, some of the local AJCCs. And if you wanted to find other ones that are around you, you can go to, as you see on the bottom, www.servicelocator.org to find your nearest center. And that's also, if you use CalJobs, that's the state of California's job search website. Right on the front page, there's find your closest office. You can click on there and it'll take you into the Career One-Stop Locator. Okay, next please. Okay, yeah, there's a variety of things you can do with the America's Job Centers, AJCC, and you'll see this list is very similar to what Bridget showed you, because it's mainly about the same stuff: career planning, skills assessment, workshops, labor market information, job fairs, and job matching services, marketing workers to area employers, and occupational trainings. EDD has a job developer like the South Bay Workforce Investment Board, and they basically, like they were saying, get promotions from employers, different job openings, job fair information, and share it with the people who use the center. There's actually a big job board up front that has recently posted jobs, new jobs that actually are showing very nice signing bonuses, as well as some of those same job fairs that were mentioned by Bridget and Liliana previously. And actually, see below is the training options. That's how you can actually go and look at the iTraining website and to find more from the about the WIOA program. I'm sorry, the WIOA program, and that's something. Yeah, you go into the South Bay Web website, you'll be able to read about that program too. You could just call your local office and discuss how you would sign up for that. Next, please. Okay, America's Job Centers of America has got, in addition to what I just mentioned, there's also services for veterans and youth. EDD has a YEOP, a Youth Employment Opportunity Program representative who works with those people who are younger. And that's different than the program that Bridget was talking about, but it is another program that a person could take advantage of. And I've got a page for both the veterans and youth programs. Plus, we have what's called Experience Unlimited. It's a job club, networking group, and we got a page for that. We'll discuss it in a few. Plus, as I mentioned, recruitments, training, and other resources, as well as if you need help with your CalJobs. I don't know how many people are using the CalJobs website that's set up by the state of California, but at caljobs.ca.gov, which is a requirement for anybody receiving unemployment benefits, it's basically a place where employers can go and list their job openings for free, review resumes that are posted there. It's got access 24/7, and it's free to use. And basically, as I said, all the people who are receiving unemployment benefits have to sign up for that. So all the employers know that's where you go find people who are looking for work. Next page, please. All right, the Employment Development Department. You know, I work for the Worksource Services branch, which is just a small one part of it, but there's also the Unemployment Insurance branch, which you can pretty much only contact via internet or telephone, and we've got a page that discusses that, plus Labor Market Information Division. And Labor Market Information Division is a whole division that does nothing but gather information about the current labor market in the state of California and your local area, and posts it in a nice, easy to read database so you can review what's going on in the current labor market and maybe adjust your job search efforts to work most effectively with that labor market of the current day. And finally, disability insurance branch. That is part of the EDD, but there's a different application and a different division. Everything's done a little differently. If a person wants some information about disability insurance, they can come into the office. They can get an application in here, but we don't really do anything with disability insurance, kind of like we don't do too much with unemployment insurance, except for give you general information. I can share at the EDD labor market information website, as well as any person in the office, about how the labor market website works. And I don't actually have that website here, but I think I've got a slide that's going to show that. I'll give that to you by the end. But that's a very nice website you can use, and you can access it on the bottom of every single EDD page under resources, and just click on labor market information. But I have a page that'll show that one too. Next, please. Oh, there it is. Okay, it was the very first one. And this is, as I said, it's a great database that has a lot of updated information, and it's about jobs, whether it's your job, a job you might be interested in. It shows projections and declines in that industry, as well as what the current salary rate is in your area for those jobs. So you don't go in asking for too much or too little at your job interviews, because sometimes they don't tell you what they're going to pay you there. And I recommend it to almost everybody I work with who's looking for work. And as you see at the bottom, labormarketinfo.edd.ca.gov. And at any of the places that are EDD websites, if you scroll down to the bottom in blue under resources, it also has a link to that website. Next, please. Okay, state disability insurance. All right, well, that includes a few things like state disability insurance, paid family leave, are all part of state disability insurance programs. We have applications for both of those here in the office. A person can come in and get those. And most of the EDD offices should have some of those. If you want to come in and pick up those applications, those do have to be mailed in, so you do need to get a hard copy. Unless you apply online at the UI Online. Actually, it's SDI Online, which is the website that handles unemployment insurance and disability insurance. Find additional information on the EDD website under edd.ca.gov/disability. Okay, next, please. Okay. It's got a lot of information on there, but basically this is the Youth Employment Opportunity Program I was talking about. And it's basically a peer-level career planning service for youth between the ages of 15 and 25. A little different than Bridget's youth program in the age. And peer advising includes one-on-one interactions with youth planning assistants, developing an individual education and employment plan, which will help establish the occupational interests and meet their career goals or develop their career goals. It's got a lot of general supportive services that a person might be able to take advantage of or be referred to, including housing, schooling, clothes, transportation, food, etc. And there's different types of YEOP workshops. These workshops are focused for the youth. So they're not going to be in with all the adults. They conduct workshops that are for the younger job seekers or those people that are looking to continue in school and need to find some ways to address the barriers that are facing them. And referral to training. Sometimes a YEOP client can be referred to various training programs that would assist them in their educational careers. And basically, the best way to get signed up for that is to contact the front desk at any of your AJCC that has an EDD representative at it. They should have a YEOP, or at least be able to refer you to a YEOP. We have one here at the Torrance office, and we just take down your name and number, give it to him, and he'll call you back. And so I didn't actually put his name in here, but at the Torrance One Stop, oh darn, I wished I had put it there. But you can call us at the front desk at 310-782-2101 and say you'd like to speak to that YEOP representative. And take your name, number, and he'll get back with you and schedule an appointment. Next, please. All right, veteran services. For those who served in the military or are active in the military, there's this grant-funded program from the Department of Labor. It's administered by the Employment Development Department, and it provides employment services to the veterans and eligible spouses of veterans. And we've got a representative in the office, the Disabled Veteran Outreach Program representative. His name is David, and we refer to him as the DVOP. So if you call and ask to speak to the DVOP, they'll refer you to David. And David will be able to make an appointment with you and give you instructions if you were to reach out to him at the number up on the screen or his email. He does work remotely, and so I don't have his remote number. But you leave a message at the 310 number, or just send him an email. He'll get back to you and give you some instructions on what you need to do to make an appointment with him. Okay, next, please. Okay, Experience Unlimited. We call that's a statewide program, Experience Unlimited. Here at the Torrance office, we call it the South Bay Professional Association. And basically, it's a job club. I mentioned it earlier, a job club here at the Torrance chapter of Experience Unlimited. And it's a peer support group and networking organization that's comprised of your professional, managerial, and technical people within an industry, and they have industry expertise who find themselves back on the job market. A lot of these people are people who've been in the job for a long time, have done something at a fairly executive or high professional level, and now they're having a little trouble getting back to work because the jobs that are being offered are a little below them. They're being told they've got too much experience, those kind of things. And they work with each other. They identify the problems. They share with each other how their successes work, what a person might try to address, when it comes to the barrier that they're dealing with. They also have some meet programs. They have a representative who developed a LinkedIn workshop, and I'd like to attend that myself, because a lot of those people, that's the best way for them to find jobs is via networking. But Murphy Witherspoon is the president. He just contacted us and told us they're going to start holding these meetings again and doing it on a regular basis. I think it's via Zoom right now. But if you ever reach out to him at 310-871-9402, or at the that would be the best place to get him, is to call him and contact him and find out when the next appointment orientation is going to be. You can also go to the South Bay LA.org website, and that's right there at the bottom, SBPA-LA.org, and find out some more details about the South Bay Professional Association, and you can just read some of the details on how it works. Okay, next page, please. Okay, well, there's been a lot of changes in unemployment insurance. When you see me make reference there, UI, that's unemployment insurance. Those are the guys who pay the checks to people for their unemployment benefits. And a lot of things have been updated over the last couple of years, and one of them being UI Online. That's one of the places where you pretty much can do everything you need to do with your unemployment insurance. You can apply, you can do your certifying for benefits, you can reopen claims, you can close your claim, you can check your payments, you can check the processing of your payments. It's a pretty handy thing, and there's going to be another page that's going to give you that address there. But they've done a lot of other things. We're going to address them in a few minutes that are improvements and updates in how UI works. And also there's a new thing to deal with some fraud issues and such. Everybody who's going to apply for unemployment and use unemployment insurance is going to have to verify their identity through ID.me before they can go and file a claim online. And that's something, you know, the DMV is using that too. It's being actually implemented all over, but that is something you're going to have to follow the directions on how to do that too before you can file a claim. But you can read all about that at the UI website and edd.ca.gov. Okay, next please. That's the UI Online, the one I told you where you can pretty much manage your unemployment claim. edd.ca.gov/UI_online. And you can go in there and file your new claim or work on your current claim, just manage what's going on in your current claim, or even get some technical support there. Okay, next please. Okay, that's another thing that's kind of new. They've been doing this for a while, but you don't get checks, you get paid via your debit card. And it's something, you know, you can work on your debit card, use your debit card 24/7. You can report and review your payments at bankofamerica.com 24/7, and that phone number there is basically the number that's available for people who have an EDD debit card for assistance. Okay, next please. Okay, and as I said, everything's kind of been turned on to connect 24/7 every single day, all day. And there's the website, edd.ca.gov, has all the EDD stuff from job service to disability to UI Online. And they've got a mobile app that'll allow you to access your UI Online on your telephone. And as I said, you can do all those different activities. And there's a UI self-service phone. We often call it telecert. And that's the number right there, 866-333-4606. And that's where a person can get some information about their most recent payment, as well as certify for benefits without necessarily having to fill out a paper form or going in to UI Online. That's usually the choice of the people who can't use the computer very well. All right, and you see the little star down there. Some late night and early morning hours are not available due to scheduled maintenance. Okay, if they have a problem they need to fix, they usually turn it off in the middle of the night and fix it. Okay, next page, please. All right, and that's just some of the phone numbers for people who are going to file unemployment insurance. You don't really need to pay attention to the PUA. Those are the pandemic claim extensions that have all been ended. They expired back on September 4th. But there's also a help with UI Online number that's open all day, 8 to 8, plus that UI self-service line, the telecert line, which is right there also, and a person can use once they have an open claim. Okay, next please. I guess that's the last one. So if anybody has any questions or something they'd like to ask, I can see about trying to answer that.
Yeah, so if anyone has questions, just type them up. We are a little bit over time. However, I do have a question for you, Andrew.
Sure.
So individuals that are incurring an unemployment are receiving unemployment benefits, can they still apply for the California training benefit? And can you explain what that is?
Yes, I'm glad you brought that up. The California Training Benefit Program is actually, it's something that's set up so a person who's receiving unemployment benefits might be able to qualify to go to training at the same time they're receiving benefits. You know, usually when you're on unemployment insurance, you're supposed to be spending all your time looking for work. But, you know, you can actually do some going to school if you can get approved by unemployment insurance, and you have to contact them and have to basically tell them what training you want to go to, when it is, and see if you can get approved to do that. There is one little thing for people who are already receiving it. You have to have done that by the 16th week. You have to have notified unemployment insurance by the 16th week of receiving your unemployment benefits that you were interested in that. And you don't necessarily have to have all the details down. You just have to have called them up and said, you know what, I'd like you to document that I have interest in this California training benefit program. They'll document it in your file. You have beaten the 16 weeks. But if it's after the 16 weeks, you're not going to be eligible for the CTB program. The CTB program doesn't pay for any training. It just allows a person to go to school and receive their benefits at the same time, which is kind of, you know, different than what usually happens when you mark on your claim form that you're in school. They'll stop your benefits if you haven't gotten approved for California training benefits, and they'll ask you, what are you going to school for? And then somebody will make a decision then. It's always better to call beforehand and see if you can be qualified for the California training benefits before you just jump into school, if you receive benefits. Does that kind of clarify?
Mary, sorry, Andrew. Mary, do you have a question? I just saw that you
Unmuted. Yes. So I have a question with the CTB. So what if you you contacted the UI, you contacted UI through your account and you showed interest of CTB, but your classes don't start till March, but you only have 26 weeks of benefits. How does that work? Even though you've contacted within time, and they actually just responded me. So I contacted this question back in August, but I just received a communication from EDD just in October. And, you know, the program that I'm interested doesn't start till March. So how would that overlap? Would it still cover me? Let's just say through the CTB?
Well, you know, theoretically, they're supposed to, you know, once you get started in your training, if it's still within your 26 weeks, they can extend it through the end of your training up to 26 more weeks.
Yeah, unfortunately, the program doesn't start till after my 26 weeks.
And see, in that situation, I don't know exactly what's going to happen, and you would have to talk to unemployment insurance about that one.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
That's a little beyond the normal situation, and you know, the delay, you might be able to appeal something like that because everything's been very delayed in unemployment. The responses have been
because like I said, I showed interest. I you know submitted an interest back in August, but like I said, I didn't get a response just till, you know, last Friday. So
well, you know, it might show that you submitted this interest back in August, but and the big gap between it, you know, when they responded. But that is something you probably have to find out from unemployment insurance and maybe bring up that, you know, you think you should be eligible.
Okay, thank you so much. I appreciate your help.
A delay gap, yeah.
Thank you. And then Robert, real quick, because we do need to move forward real quick.
Yes, I'm going to try and make this as fast as I can. Sir, I did certify for benefits. My benefits then ran out. They then sent me something that said I had to refile, and I did. And then they said there was a mistake with the refiling. And then they said you can file an appeal, which took an entire month for them to give me an answer back. They put a new balance down, and they started paying me again. Then they stopped. And then they sent me money, conditional payment. And then they stopped, and then it went on for like another 2 or 3 weeks where they didn't pay me. And then all of a sudden they sent me a decent amount of money, and there's still a decent amount of balance there. But they said I have to refile again. I don't understand why I have to refile again. I already refiled.
Yeah, I'm not sure either. And that's the thing.
Okay,
Your best bet is to talk to a representative rather than trying to do it, via
I need
mail.
to talk to an actual human.
Yes, and it's very hard to do that sometimes. But here, if you
It's
come,
very hard to talk to a human being, yes.
you come to the Torrance office and explain your situation to the front desk, we have what's called a UI direct line, and we can try to forward you through to the unemployment insurance using that UI direct line. We can't do it for everybody, but for people in situations like yours, if you pitch yourself to the front desk, they can actually do that. Sometimes the UI direct line is even so busy we can't get through it.
Yeah, because there was no mistake with my appeal. And they held up my money for an entire month.
I can't verify any of that. There's so many.
I understand. So where do I have to go?
Well, if you're in Torrance, you can come to the Torrance One Stop and come to the front desk and say, I was told because of the situation, I can be put on the UI direct line. And you'd have to explain your situation, and they would see that that would be a reason. And I would advise you to do it at 8 o'clock in the morning if you could.
8 o'clock. Where's the office?
It's 1220 Engracia.
Oh, okay. I got it. I got the address. Okay, very good. And they open at 8?
Chat.
And what was your name, sir?
Oh, I'm Andy.
Thank you, Andy.
No problem.
All right, thank you. Thank you, Andrew. So we're gonna move forward. I know you guys probably have a lot of questions for EDD, but if you do have any questions, you feel free to email me and I can always direct you. Just note that when it comes to unemployment, those are questions that, unemployment will have to answer themselves, but we'll try to help you as much as possible. So we are going to move forward because we're running a bit behind. And now we're going to have our Department of Rehabilitation. Daryl, are you there? Are you ready?
Yes, I'm here. Thank you.
All right, Daryl, whenever you're ready, you can go ahead and get started.
Okay. Thank you for inviting me today. This is a good time for, individuals who want to work and try to get out there and work, especially those for disabilities. And what we do here at the Department of Rehabilitation, we assist Californians with disabilities to obtain and retain employment and to maximize their quality and ability to live independently in their communities. We do this by tailoring our service to each individual to ensure a greater chance of success. Now, what determines eligibility for Department of Rehabilitation, from which I'm talking about right now for service for adults, and I will get into service for students later. You have to have a physical or mental, emotional, or learning disability that is a real barrier to you getting a job. So if you have a diagnosed disability and there are some impediments and you've been having problems getting jobs and things of maintaining a job or maximizing potential, you should contact the Department of Rehabilitation to see, how we can, develop a individual plan for you to assist you with becoming a competitive employee. We are an employment agency, what we do is we outreach and try to assist those individuals with disabilities. And, as of today, I'm actually at the Carson Worksource Center, in which we do co-enroll individuals that come through the Worksource Center, the ED department. If they have a disability, we will try to co-enroll and utilize their services in addition to the Department of Rehabilitation Services. Now, let me get into youth, in which I'm a student service counselor. And right now, there are many opportunities for the youth with disabilities to, get a work experience, ages from 16 to 21. If you have an IEP or you have a history of a disability and you're in school, high school, training, trade school, and you want to benefit from a work experience, this is a good time to contact the Department of Rehabilitation. For example, we have a program what we call for student services for those young people 16 to 21 and 22 who are in continuation school, approved continuation school. We can offer you a work experience. And what we do with that, We can offer you up to 100 hours to 300 hours work experience. What we do, we go into your communities. You know, some of you have family members and friends who are business owners, you know, and if you can, you know, work for them and learn some work skills and work ethics, you know, we can pay, you know, your hourly fees, and we do cover workers' compensation. And they also are developing a program like that for adults, you know, to get a potentially eligible work experience to see how they're doing and what type of vocations and how they can, you know, get back and forth to work and things like that. So right now is a really good time to benefit from a work experience, you know, funded through the Department of Rehabilitation. So I encourage, you know, any youth out there, you know, want to get a job, you know, in addition to their training and things like that, is to make contact with us so that we can, you know, get you going and get you involved in these services so that that can lead up to you becoming competitively employed. So now my office, you know, this is Lynette's in the Torrance School District. My office is in the Torrance office. You know, we serve Torrance, Gardena, all the South Bay areas, you know. We have office in Compton, we have office in Bell, we have office in West LA, you know. So the way you would do, you would, you know, get on our website and you would contact that office they direct you to. And what would happen is that you would speak with the intake counselor, and they will schedule, you know, they will see what service is most suitable for you, and they will schedule an appointment with one of our certified counselors, and then we will get the process going. So, you know, I hope that those out there, you know, young people and adults who are, you know, trying to get some directions and support with employment, and, you know, you feel you need some support, you know, get in contact with us right now. There's a lot of resources right now for employment. You know, you know, I was told this, you can take training forever, you know, you can go to school and things like that, but eventually you gotta learn how to work or be self-employed to make some money to live independently. So if you have a disability and you feel that you can benefit from our program, please make contact with us.
Can you please, hello?
Yes, I'm here.
Just we'd like to your contact or something like that.
Okay.
Just because I'm leaving now, I have something to do. Just
Okay, my address is 21250 Hawthorne Boulevard, Suite 220.
we can. I have to write it down.
Let me see, Lynette, can you put that in the chat? Can you put that my address down for me?
Yes, please. Yeah. Okay.
So
Okay,
again,
hi, everybody, this is Veronica, the school counselor. I'm just trying to unmute Liliana. If you have any questions for Daryl, you feel free to email me or email Liliana. I will put it in the chat. Let me see if I can unmute her again. I'm having trouble unmuting her, but I'm gonna unmute everybody and see if that works, and then I'm gonna mute everybody again. So one
Okay.
second, please. Okay. Okay, so we're having some technical difficulties. I'm not able to unmute Liliana. So if let me see, let's see if on her end, I can figure out what's going on. Please bear with us.
Hey Veronica, it's Diego.
Hi, Diego.
Hey, we're working on it. Give me a
Okay.
second.
All right, thanks. Okay, so in the meantime, we can take some questions for Daryl. Does anybody have any questions for Daryl? With regards
Yes,
to
I have a question for Daniel.
Daryl?
Daniel, so if we have per se work restrictions, like modified work restrictions, do you work with that also with the department? Would I be able to just is there any resources at the Department of Rehabilitation for a person that has work restrictions?
Yes, of course, like I said, it's on an individual basis, we will get your medical information, we get your most recent, prognosis and things like that. If we have to get an assessment to determine, what level of, how, sometime how long a person can stand, bend, reach, things like that, their tolerance. Sometimes we might do a work evaluation, to determine, your level of stamina, things like that. So that can give us more direction and insight to as if any accommodations are needed, what work settings, what's needed for you to give you a fair chance so that you compete with other workers. Sometimes it's scheduling, so we don't know that until we meet with you, do our assessments, get our information to determine your informed choice. So once we got all that in plan, we try to make an informed choice and develop an individual plan that meets your needs.
Okay, and then also Daniel, is it are we supposed to disclose if you have certain physical restrictions, or is that something that you guys the employer will already ahead of time know that this person needs accommodations?
See, what happens, my experience, now this is not for all people. Some individuals do not disclose their disabilities on the workforce, until something happens, Now, when you apply for a job, it's going to ask you if you have the ability to perform that job. And if not, it's going to ask you, if you knew what you need to perform that job. So you would staff that with them. Okay.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
if, you got to look at an individual basis. You got to, sometimes you're in a job, and you have a disability and you might have developed your own accommodation. Sometimes it can be scheduled. Some people work better swing, morning, day shift. So we look at that and see, let me give you an example.
Mhm.
I had a young person who she wanted to be a cosmetologist and she had a learning disability. Okay. And, she passed her courses and things like that, took her extra time, but you got to take that state certification to be a cosmetologist, right?
Uh-huh.
So by her being with the Department of Rehabilitation, we were able to use the American Disability Act, where we can provide her with an interpreter so that when she was going for a practical test, they can read her the questions.
Oh,
So that
okay.
gave her the, an edge and advantage instead of having to read the questions, it was read to her. So she was able to pass her certification.
Okay. Okay.
So that was accommodation for her.
Oh, okay. Okay, great. Okay, thank you so much, Daniel. I look
You're
to
welcome.
forward to speaking to you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Daryl, this is Veronica, the school counselor again. I have a question.
Go ahead.
Sometimes I get a lot of students that think they have a disability, but they're not sure. Can they be referred to the Department of Rehabilitation, and what would be that process?
Yes, from my experience, this is just me as a counselor, working with youth who are in school and they have an IEP. To a point, they feel that's not a disability. To a point, that's specific, to be specific learning. But, I encourage you to have them contact the Department of Rehabilitation, because see, we can, by, doing a counseling, listen to them and let them know, how, if there is a diagnosed disability, how the resources that are valuable that can help them, due to that situation, that they might have been having some barriers to, and give them some leverage in their work or their educational setting, so that's why we have that potentially eligible program now, because we want those youth to come to us, because in my experience, the average youth that get out of high school don't want to follow that, stigma, I have a disability, and I understand that. okay? But what I'm gonna want them to do is to realize the resources out there, if they do have a disability, that can help them to become competitively employed and get the resources that many students without disabilities are trying to get. Because school and college things are expensive. So I encourage you to have your students, if they feel they don't have a disability, still contact. If you don't have one, we still can refer you to resources, you know, that, you know, are not for people, students with disabilities. But if you feel it's there and you think they can benefit, have them contact the Department of Rehab.
Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Hi, Veronica, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you fine.
Okay, sorry, this is not Diego, this is me. I'm sorry, we had some issues with my computer right now. But give me 1 second. I'm gonna stop sharing the presentation real quick. If anyone has any more questions for Daryl, I see Robert's hand up. Robert, do you have a question?
No, that was from before.
Oh, okay, okay. Yes, so it was still up. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna go ahead and kind of move forward if we're okay. Unless anyone else has any questions, we're going to move on to our next speaker. Unfortunately, due to the tech issues, you know, we're a little bit behind. But does anyone have any other questions?
Yes, please.
Mhm.
Just you'd like the contact for Daniel?
For Daryl, yes. I will give you that information in a bit. Just give me 1 second as I get ready for the next presentation. I will put that in the chat for you, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Okay, awesome. So right now we're going to go ahead and move over to our next organization. I apologize for the delay. So we have the International Education Research Foundation and we have TRE. TRE, whenever you're ready, you can unmute yourself.
Okay, here I am. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. I also have our executive director with me, Susan Bedell.
Hi, happy to be with you, and a special thank you to Liliane for inviting us to participate today in the Torrance Adult Schools Resource Week. And hopefully by the end of our short presentation that we will give jointly, Tiade and myself, you will be able to learn more about our services, and our services really are geared towards those who have studied outside of America and who have credentials, who've earned credentials, non-US credentials, and would like to use those credentials in America. Okay.
Next.
So it is a short presentation that we would like to present, and then obviously we'll be open to any questions that you have. So basically what we do at our foundation is we make sense of international credentials, non-US credentials. So if you've earned a diploma or any credits outside of America, we look at those and match them to the American equivalency. Thank you.
Next slide, please.
Okay, who are we? We call ourselves IRF, but we stand for International Education Research Foundation. We are one of the oldest and most respected credentials evaluation services. We are a not-for-profit agency, and we are committed to research in international education. We were the first credentials evaluation service in the world, and we are a charter member of an association known as NACES, National Association of Credential Evaluation Services, and this association safeguards the standards of credentials evaluation services. Thank you. Next slide. What is our mission? Our mission is one of research and dissemination of information on world education systems. And the whole object of researching the different educational systems is so that we can facilitate the integration of individuals who, as I said earlier, have been educated outside America into the American educational environment and workforce. Next slide. What is the purpose? For what purpose do you need non-US credentials evaluated? Our reports are used for school and college admission, for transfer credit, for employment and salary adjustments, for professional licensure, for visa and immigration certification. Oftentimes you need to prove that you have a certain education and to obtain a visa, and we supply the report for that, and also for military enlistment. We provide a number of reports, different reports. We have what is known as our standard reports, and it is our standard reports that I believe that most of you, if you have non-US credentials, would be selecting. And of those standard reports, we have a general report and also a detail report, and I will discuss the contents of those. And obviously, we have specialized reports as well for licensure. And our advisory reports, but our advisory reports wouldn't pertain to, it wouldn't be of relevance today. Thank you. Our special reports, as I said earlier, are physical therapy, for physical therapy licensure, for barbering and cosmetology licensure, there's a special report, as well as for visa certification and for military enlistment. Now, how does one go about applying for a report with our foundation? And here, maybe I can put it over to you, Tiade. Would you like to take on from here?
Yes, I will. Thank you, Susan. So the way that you would submit an application is you would decide which institution or employer you wish to apply to and find out what their requirements are. What type of report do they require? And yes, mostly what type of report that they would require. Once you've decided, you can go online to our website at www.ierf.org, where you will find a button to apply online for an evaluation. It's a very easy, very detailed application that will walk you through it step by step. It will tell you in each section what exactly you need and how to fill it out correctly. Once you've applied, you will collect the academic records and send them into IRF. Now, I do want to note here that recently we have made many updates to our application, in that in many cases you can upload your documents directly into our application. And depending on the requirements of the country from which your studies are, they will be either considered copies of records for our review, and you may still have to send in your original documents into our office. And that will all be outlined in detail in the application. Once you have submitted your application, we will review and we will request any additional documents that may be needed in order to complete your report. And then you will receive the evaluation report. And we do have a couple of ways that you can request that they be sent directly to your institutions and also to you. Next, please. Thank you. And as mentioned, this is our website, ierf.org, and there's a big red Apply Now button there that will take you directly into our application. But I do recommend before doing that, you go into our For Individuals tab, which will give you more detailed information on what documents you need to provide with your application based on your country of study. Next, please. Thank you. And the site is very interactive and it does advise as you go. The first question we'll ask is, one of the first questions we'll ask is, what is the purpose of your evaluation? Is it to further your education? Do you want professional licensing, or is it for employment or any other reasons? And what you choose here determines the questions that we ask later in the application as well. So it is important that you select the right purpose. Next, please. We understand that sometimes it can take some time for you to get all of your information and your educational history together. And if you cannot complete your application in one sitting, it's perfectly fine. We do have an option in the application to save and return later. Just make sure that once you hit that save and return later button, you write down your temporary IRF reference number, because you will need that as well as your date of birth in order to enter back into the application. Now, I do want to also note, once you have submitted the application, you will not be able to go back into it to make any changes. You will need to contact our office. Next, please. Now, we get this question a lot, and it's, what countries do you evaluate? And the simple answer is all of them. This is a short list of some of the more common countries that you will see, but we do evaluate studies from every country in the world. Next, please. I did get a list of some of the higher volume countries that Torrance sees as far as from where people are coming from. So I just added a couple of slides here that talks a little bit about the requirements in a couple of these key countries. So the first one is Japan. And as we can see, for Japan, all supporting documents can be photocopies. So that means we don't need you to send us the hard copies of the records. We will accept them, the photocopies, and they do have to be issued in English. Along with your details here, it'll show you what you need for secondary studies and post-secondary studies. So just make sure to all of the requirements here. For the most part, it's your degree certificate and your transcripts. Next, please. And the next country is Brazil. Again, this is the details on what you need to submit for us. You'll see here that Brazil requires original academic records. That means that we need to see your hard copy records, and they need to be sent into our office. And yes, we will always return your original documents. You will just need to indicate to us if you want them returned via regular mail or via secure mailing. Next, please. And the last one that I highlighted here was Guatemala. And again, Guatemala does require original documents issued in Spanish. In this case, we do accept true certified copies when they are certified by your institution. For any documents that are requested in your native language, in this case, Spanish, we also need English translations for all documents that you submit. So if you submit a full set of records in Spanish, you must also submit a full set of records in English translation. And it is a line-to-line, word-for-word translation. Next, please. This is just a cute little infographic similar to what we've seen earlier in the slides here. Basically, if you have studied outside of the US, IRF can definitely help get you recognition and credit for those studies. A lot of times we see that sometimes people coming from other countries with studies think that they have to start all over again, and that's simply not true. And we are here and we exist to help make sure that your hard work does not go unacknowledged. So again, you decide where you want your report to go. You come to IRF and apply. You send us your documents and we'll send you the report. Next. And that is all we have here. Here I have our contact information on the screen. Right now, the easiest way to contact us is via our email address, info@irf.org. We do have a customer service team working to answer the emails that come into that inbox very expeditiously. So you can expect to receive a response within 24 hours, 24 to 48 hours at the most. And next. Any questions? Thank you so much, everybody.
Thank you. I do have a question for you. So once a student submits their application and submits all their documents, how long does it take for you guys call it IERF or you guys call it?
Yes, IERF. I can answer that. Our usual turnaround time, and we're very proud, starts kicking in the moment we have received all the documents that we need. So we do not start the process until we have obviously the documents and fees. But once we have all of that, the turnaround time is 15 business days. We do also offer rush services, 24 hours, 5-day and 10-day. So depending what the applicant selects.
And the evaluation, you get it through email, through mail, or how's the evaluation received?
Yeah, the copy being the applicant copy. In other words, your copy would come via email, and the official copy would either go directly to the institution. And if the institution has requested that it be sent digitally, we do that. Or we'll send a hard copy using what is known as script safe paper, and that is paper that cannot be altered.
Okay, great.
In the application form, the applicant would state exactly where he or she wanted the report to go.
Okay, great. Thank you. Does anyone have a quick question? I know we're a little bit behind. Veronica, you have a question?
Yes, this is Veronica, the school counselor. I have a question. If students just want to evaluate their transcripts just to have a copy for themselves, it's not necessarily to go to any institution. Do you guys do that as well?
Yes, so what we would do is the student would apply for an evaluation and ask for both the copy and the official report to go to them.
Thank you.
All right, Risa, you have a question?
Yes, at first, thank you for your information. And then I want to know about the evaluation. I've submitted my documents, but I want to know if at first I submitted my bachelor and my master, and should I pay separately for each document?
Okay, now it matters not how many credentials you have. There is only one fee, irrespective of the number of credentials. So you would not be paying an additional fee depending on how many credentials you have. It's one fee. Okay, does that answer your question?
And the second question is, can I upgrade the evaluation document? For example, at first I get the general evaluation, and then if I want to upgrade again, should I pay the total cost, or I should pay the additional cost?
Okay, so if you have first applied for a general report and your general report has been issued to you, then you would need to apply for a new report, okay, a new detail report, and pay for the detail report fee.
Okay, thank you for your information.
The pleasure.
Appreciate it.
All right, does anyone have any more questions? All right, so I'm gonna move it over to, thank you again, guys. I'm gonna move it over to the Torrance Libraries. June, whenever you're ready.
Oh, am I unmuted? Did I
Yes.
succeed? Oh, yay. Okay. Yeah. Hi, I'm June. I'm a librarian at the Torrance Public Library. I want to say there are 6 branches all across the city of Torrance. We offer books, periodicals, audiobooks, DVDs, as well as electronic resources. But today I'm going to be talking about a few job-related electronic resources. So what you're seeing here is the Torrance Library's homepage. And you'll see other things. You'll see the events, library locations, library catalog, but we're going to focus on that tab that says resources. And that's where you'll find many of our online options. And these do require a Torrance library card for usage. Okay, so next. So slide 2, this first one is one of Davis is called Learning Express. It's organized into like target learning centers, and it supports those looking to improve core academic skills, pass the GED, prepare for college, join the military, obtain occupational certification, find a job, change careers, and much more. The Learning Express is also pretty good in that if you're taking a job that you find out has like an exam, like a question and answer, a lot of times we get questions that they're going to take like a custodian supervisor, and it's going to be some sort of civil service question and answer. That's where you're going to find some of those question and answer setups. So it's not just like reading a book saying this is what you have to learn. It's learning how to like get in that test situation where it says, which one of these followings would you do, A, B, C, or D? So it's helpful to get that sort of practice with these tests, and that's through the Learning Express. Okay, so next, this is called Job Now. And again, you'll see the link from that resources page. And Job Now, which is powered by BrainFuse, provides live interactive online help combined with online resources to guide you through necessary tasks to get a job. And within Job Now, there are different like components to it. So next, you'll see there's just a resume component specific to resumes. So this section of Job Now focuses on resumes. They have like a resume lab, and the resume builder provided the resources you need to draft a winning resume. So it's a little more interactive than just going to the library and getting a book or going online and seeing somebody's like example of a resume. It kind of helps you build it. And again, you go through this online resource and you focus on the resume part of Job Now. So next. So, and another part of Job Now is specific for interviewing. So it features interviewing resources such as, they have the ACE the interview, which features Job Now. It's an interview coach service, and it provides resource to help you prepare for an interview. So again, it's something more interactive and much more timely than trying to check out a book and seeing, oh, how am I going to practice? Or even kind of get the sensation of, somebody's going to ask me a question and I'm going to respond back. So that's all within that one resource, which is Job Now. And that's pretty much the heart of the job-related resources we have with through the library and using your card. But next, which I'm going to show you is these are upcoming resources we have. So, in the future, Torrance Library card holders, they're going to have access to these other online learning platforms like Coursera, Get Set Up, LinkedIn Learning, Northstar, and Skillshare. And I didn't make a separate slide on them because we don't have them all up and running yet. So when the platforms appear under that first page we saw under the resources on the website, that means they're live and like ready to use. But I'm going to talk about them now because they're pretty helpful in what we're kind of trying to do here with resources. So Coursera is a global online learning platform that offers anyone, anywhere access to online courses and degrees from world-class universities and companies. So if you want to, kind of dive into like courses, I guess, and a little more study to brush up on something, this is something you kind of like dip into. And it's more interactive again, and it's online, so you don't have to worry about you're going to read a book and flip through it. The other one is now called Get Set Up, and they're actually live classes for they become older adults. And so it's an online community of people who want to learn new skills, connect with others, and unlock new life experiences. So I think it's more like talk about, it's an online community. So it's not like focused classes, but you kind of dip in and seeing, oh, this is what other people are interested in. And it's kind of a way of like connecting with people, but online. And it's not just like the mayhem of saying, oh, I'm just going to go on like TikTok or something like that. Now, LinkedIn and Learning, you may have seen this before. It says in the little graphic. It used to be called lynda.com, which you may have used before, but LinkedIn Learning bought that and they took it under their like brand. And so this provides video courses taught by industry experts in software, creative, and business skills. So again, these are things that are really focused towards skill building in job-related business, like work environment. So they're not talking about, you're not going to go like gardening or things like that. They're going to look at business skills, like I'm going to learn a certain type of software or something like that. Now, North Star is specific to computers. So it tests your computer skills, builds skills in key areas, and demonstrates your knowledge for earning certificates and badges. So North Star is computer, all things computer. And then the last one, Skillshare, which you may have heard because it gets a lot of talk on just people who are just interested in how we can learn new things. And it's an online learning platform with thousands of creative courses and classes taught by experts to help you learn their skills. But Skillshare is good because sometimes you think, the creative coursework nowadays, is in demand. So, I mean, even like in my tiny little like library world, you wouldn't think, oh yeah, we need computer skills, definitely with library stuff. But now, when we had to pivot because of all the closures, a lot of us had to learn how do we make content, how do we get Facebook slides up, how do we learn Canva, how do we get all those other things. And Skillshare is a good sort of thing to tap into those sort of, I guess you'd say like business adjacent sort of skills, or maybe even you want to focus it and you're like, no, I want to learn Facebook photography and all those sort of things, Instagram. That's the kind of thing you would dip into with Skillshare. So I hope I wouldn't talk too fast, but we're just kind of covering things that were specific to job resources. And so I hope this was helpful. And if anybody has any questions.
June, I have a question for your interviews. You said it was from 10 to 1?
It's through that Job Now. So they have a certain time, which they have like that coach available.
And do you have to schedule an appointment or can anyone just show up? Is it online? It's online, correct?
It's online only. So I would go in, especially with these things, with these online resources. Yeah, go in and see what they're saying now. Because I'm thinking, I think I did the screen grab maybe a few weeks ago, and maybe things have changed. But take a look. They do schedule things for certain times for the interviewing. Hope that helps.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, thank you.
Uh-huh.
All right. Does anyone have any questions? I'm just looking real quick to see if anyone has any questions. No. All right, so we are going to go ahead and move forward. I'm sorry if we go over a little bit. Let me start my video so you guys can see me. I'm sorry for the background. I just happened to have a little tech issue with my computer, so I have to use a different computer. But thank you to our presenters. We are going to move forward real quick, just to talk a little bit about Torrance Adult School for those who don't know who we are and what we do. And then for our students, this is also a great opportunity for you guys to learn about career services and what we have to offer. So we have a variety of career pathways here at Torrance Adult School, starting off with our Child Care Providers Program. This program is specifically for the ESL and our high school diploma or equivalency students who are also known as our ABE AAC students. So this program basically provides them with the opportunity to learn about the childcare field and transition to El Camino College. So what happens with this program is our students take a childcare providers class here at Torrance Adult School. Once they complete that class, they prepare to transition to El Camino College, where they can take a few classes to get their childcare permit to work in the state of California in the childcare facility, in the preschool, or any type of job that may involve childcare. This is a great opportunity for you guys if you're interested. The childcare providers class is completely free for students enrolled in our ESL or high school diploma or ABAC program. Enrollment does open up soon. I'll give you guys the information in a bit. The second program that we do offer is our Allied Health program. In this program, students have the opportunity to train to become a pharmacy technician, medical assistant, or medical biller and coder. In this program, you will gain hands-on experience at an actual employment site. For example, for pharmacy tech, you may be externing at CVS. Maybe you'll be externing at Walgreens or a local pharmacy. For medical assistant, you may be externing at a local medical facility like Optum or any of your local doctor office. Same with medical biller and coder. You often see those in different types of medical facilities. However, the point is that in these programs, you get training and you get hands-on experience that will help you obtain a job within that field. You will also prepare for state or national certifications. So for some healthcare careers, you do need to get like a license to work in that specific field, specifically pharmacy technician. You need to be licensed in the state of California to work as a pharmacy technician. In that case, we will help you prepare for the exam that's required and we'll help you apply for the license. For medical assistant, medical biller, and coder, we can help you with your national certifications. Now, we also offer accounting. In this program, students learn the basic concepts of accounting and QuickBooks to begin their careers in accounting and/or finance fields. This program is also for experienced professionals looking to refresh. So if you have accounting experience from your country or you have current accounting experience, it's a great opportunity for you to upgrade your knowledge and skills. Students in this program also prepare to pass the QuickBooks Certified User Exam. In our office program, students learn the software needed in most offices, including Microsoft Word, Excel, Access, and PowerPoint. Students also prepare to pass the Microsoft Office Specialist Exam, Certified User Exam. For this program, same as within accounting, if you have experience in Microsoft, that's okay. We do get a lot of students who are looking to upgrade their knowledge of Microsoft because Microsoft, the software keeps updating every few years. And this program, they also prepare to take that exam to show that they are certified users. And this is great for your resume. So if you're looking to like refresh your skills or you want that certification, I highly encourage you guys to consider that program. Now, as part of student support, being a student here at Torrance Adult School, there's a lot of support services available to you. One of them is career exploration. So if you meet with student support services, we'll be able to explore different in-demand careers. Earlier in the presentation, EDD mentioned the labor market information. That's a great resource, which I'll share with you guys at a later time. But through that and through another website called ONET, we can look at different careers, look at the qualifications for each job and what you need to do to prepare. We can also look into different self-assessments to kind of evaluate your experience and skills to see what kind of field will best fit your interests and your skill set. We also offer career training. As I mentioned, we have the childcare, we have allied health, accounting, and office. But if you're interested in another field, we can help you search for training. If you're interested in applying to college or vocational schools, we have many partners that can help you as well. We also do job search preparation. So if you need help with your cover letter, resume, preparing for interview, or even the application, we can do that too. And then we do referrals to business and community partners. So if you're interested in the services that the One Stop presents, we can definitely do that referral to Bridget or to another One Stop. So if you're not from the Torrance area, you're not from the South Bay area, but maybe you're from West LA or San Pedro or even Long Beach, I can look into the American Job Center that's nearby and refer you to them if needed. But we also have partners like EDD, the Department of Rehabilitation, the Torrance Libraries, IERF, and other types of organizations that can help you with your employment needs or your job search preparation. Now, for our programs, we will be opening enrollment in a few weeks. So online enrollment opens up on November 16. Our enrollment process is pretty quick for career technical programs. All you have to do is visit the tusd.org/TAS website, click on the register now button, which is on the left upper hand of the website. You can see here on the picture. And the third step would be to just complete the online enrollment form for the career technical education. If you are a current ESL student or your English language learner, or you're a current high school diploma or equivalency student, please contact the school for more information about enrollment if you're interested in the career technical education. There's just a slightly different process for those groups. But if you're not in those groups, you can go ahead and start registering for our career technical programs in 2 weeks. So tomorrow we are having another resource day. Tomorrow specifically, we're going to be focusing on healthcare and wellness. We'll have many great speakers, including Cover California, My Health LA, which is ran by the LA County Department of Public Health. And then we have local clinic that provides healthcare services for low-income individuals, and we'll be talking about some mental health resources as well. I highly encourage you guys to attend tomorrow so you guys can kind of learn what's available for you or for your family. Now, thank you. And here is our contact information if you guys ever need to contact. On top, you'll find our phone number. Second, you'll find our website to the Torrance Adult School, but then also the Student Support Services. We also have a website. And then we encourage you guys to follow us on social media, where we'll be posting up a lot of information about our school, our programs, as well as some partner resources. So thank you. If you guys have any questions, feel free to type them up in the chat, and I'll be happy to answer those questions for you.
Excuse me?
Yes.
I can't right now because I'm driving. Just I'd like to know if the classes is in person or online.
Online, yes. That's a really good question. So at this moment, we are currently actually deciding how winter is going to look. So we don't have an answer for you at this time. It can be in person, it can be online, it can be both. We don't know quite yet. We are working on that, but give us a few more weeks and we'll definitely have the answer for you.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
All right. Does anyone have any more questions?
Hi, Liliana. This is Veronica, the counselor. We just, someone is asking for Daryl's information. Do you have that information to put in the chat?
I do have them information. I will give it to you guys in a bit. I just have to, I have to access my computer. As I mentioned, my computer is not working at this moment, but I will give you that information in a bit. But does anyone have any more questions? No. All right. Well, thank you guys. For those who do want Daryl's information, just give me 1 second. I'm going to go grab it and I'll come back. All right. Thank you guys.
Thank you. In the meantime, if you have any more questions, are you going to stop the presentation? No, right? In the meantime, if anybody has any questions, this is the school counselor. Feel free to write them in the chat or unmute your mic and ask your question. Okay, so I have a question in the chat. It says, hello, I'm Victoria. I'm interested in childcare program. Is this free and how do I enroll? So we do have a child care program. It will begin again in the winter term. The enrollment is done through our website. There is a link on our website to enroll. The child care program is, in terms of the price, I'm not exactly sure. We work with El Camino, so once you are in the El Camino program, there is an enrollment charge for their tuition, but Liliana can answer that question as regard to the fee for that. And so you would enroll through our website and it will be updated. Our website will be updated the 16th of November. You can double check on that day for all the relevant information for the winter term. Any more questions? Well, thank you so much, Mary, and thank you to Liliana for setting all this up.
All right, so I was able to get Daryl's email. Give me 1 second for those who wanted his email. I will be typing it up on the chat. And again, for those who came in a little late, Daryl is from the Department of Rehabilitation. He works with individuals that have disabilities who want to go back to work. So they provide training and different advocacy. So hopefully you guys will reach out if you guys are interested. Just a thing, if you guys do want to go through to the Department of Rehabilitation, you can always come directly to us. So you can come directly to Veronica, and Veronica will be able to assist you.
And Liliana, right before you someone asked about the childcare program. I basically told them the best way to enroll is through the link on the website, which will be updated November 16th. Just wondering about the charge for that, if it's free.
Yeah, so the charge for the childcare program is completely free for our ESL and the current high school diploma or equivalency students. So you guys know the application will be open on November 16. If you are a current student, meaning you're enrolled right now, fall 2021, when November 16 hits, please send us an email, try giving us a call before enrolling online. Because we want to make sure that we explain to you, the process. We want to make sure that, we can facilitate the enrollment as much as possible for you because you are a current student. If you're a new student, please go ahead and submit that enrollment form starting November 16. If you're a student that was from last year but didn't take classes this term, you would enroll as a new student. So for those students, please go online to complete that enrollment form. But again, that class is completely free. For allied health or the other accounting and office classes, they are not free. Just send me an email and I'll give you the breakdown, and we can always work with the One Stop and see if they can help you cover some of those costs for those programs if you're interested. All right, does anyone have any more questions? All right, so I don't see any more questions. Again, thank you guys. Apologize for the tech issues today and for running a little bit over the time, but hopefully we'll see you tomorrow. And if you do have questions, feel free to contact us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.